So a while back, I got this lawnmower off of the side of the road for free, and it's actually in pretty decent shape. There's no rust under the deck. It appears that it's been taken care of. Well, I can't get the cap off now. Of course I can't. The oil is used, but not dirty, which is what you want to see. Because if it's very clean, like it's just been changed, that means that they probably didn't change it until they started having a problem. And if it's really dirty, then they just didn't change it. But if they changed it regularly, but used it anyway, that's what it would look like. So this mower's in really good condition. The only problem with it is the carburetor. It will run, which I'll demonstrate here, but only off of the primer. If you play with it and prime it long enough, it will stay running eventually. And when it does run, the engine sounds pretty decent. So we know that the engine's good. It also leaks a lot of gas from around the carburetor. So we know that the gasket and most likely the diaphragm is shot. And what I've done, instead of rebuilding this type of carburetor like I've done 100 times, because I do have a core over here, the real Briggs & Stratton one, right here, I could just put a new diaphragm gasket and clean this out. But the diaphragm and gasket kit's like $6 plus shipping, where for $19 I got this. And I've never used one of these, but I wanted to see how it worked. And this, of course, is the cheapest carburetor from China I could get on eBay. From what I've heard, these do work, and it actually doesn't seem to be too bad a quality. In fact, the tank itself is thicker metal than the Briggs & Stratton one. And this is obviously a different type of plastic, but it still seems to be pretty decent. The valves and everything seem to work. And this one's just ready to go. Hook it up and it's ready to go. So I suspect that this will be pretty decent. I don't know how long it'll last, but we'll see. I'm not sure about this paint, if that'll hold up to like gasoline and stuff, but I mean, it's a metal tank and a carburetor that doesn't have a float bowl, so it should be pretty decent as long as that gasket and diaphragm hold up in there, which I think they should. So I'm going to install that on this engine. I first have to find the tools to disassemble it. Now, of course, to hold the carburetor on, they have to use two different size screws or bolts. This one is 3/8 and this one's a 1/2. First thing I want to do is carefully, from one of two ends, it doesn't matter which first, disconnect this spring. We don't want to bend it all out of shape. That guy. And set it aside where I'll absolutely lose it. And then I'm going to undo this screw and then undo the one on the back. That's all that holds these carburetors on. Sorry, I'm getting in your vision here. It's difficult not to. So we have this bolt, which I will sit on the top, and the other bolt. I also already removed the elbow for the crankcase ventilation, which goes right here between these two things. And then there's another bolt right here, which is not coming out. Always have to give everyone problems. Be tighter than 50 L's. There we go. I even hit the camera for that one. It's been in there so long. It's kind of, you know, from shrinking and heating up and whatever, and expanding is what I was trying to say. Okay, I'm going to pull it away, but not pull too hard, because we got to disconnect this guy. If I didn't mention it already, good idea to not have any gas in here, even though I had gas in here. Alright, now we're just going to take our new carburetor and tank assembly, put the hook, let's see, of course the hook's, it's got a larger hole in it, so, okay, it looks like the same. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to perform a bit of surgery here. So here's what I'm talking about. This rod here is for the throttle. I know it's getting dark. That's hooked up to the governor for the throttle. The way the speed's adjusted is this spring pulls on it one way and this pulls it on the other way. And depending on how fast the engine goes, it's supposed to be at a constant speed. And that moves this guy. But on the new carburetor, this guy is smaller. So I'm just going to reach in here, and there's a plate that I'm going to pull out. If I can get it out. I got it out with these before. Yep. Alright. This plate inside of there is just slid into here. Like that. And that's your throttle. Alright, we're going to do the same thing on the new one. And this one is a bit stuck in there. Needle nose pliers would be a lot better than a pair of dikes to do this. But, once again, I'm trying to work with what's down here already. But in this case, that might not be the way to go about it. Alright, I got it out. See, same setup here. Now this new one has a piece of felt to keep it from sliding up and down, so I'm going to transfer that over to this one. I'm going to slide the new one in there, and hopefully they do have the same clearances. Okay, they fit exactly the same. So that's good. And I'm just going to slide the plate from this one into it. If I can get it in there. Well, I know you fit in there, I just pulled you out of there. Are the plates the same? I could use the new one. Yeah, they're the same. Why don't I put this one in there? Needle nose pliers would be much easier. If I would just go grab them, I could be done. Okay, I got it in there. You want to push it in there, and there you go. And just so this doesn't get lost, I'm going to set it in the old carburetor. Now, I'm going to put this shaft back into here. I'm going to pull this elbow off for now. And I'm just going to fit the carburetor on there. And we're going to bolt it in before I put the rest of the springs and stuff on it. So these things are just so hard to turn by hand. You gotta use the wrench. And I'm going to put our spring back on. I think it went, yeah, it went this way. And this hooked into here this way. And this one on here like that. Someone's going to comment, your hands are dirty, your hands are dirty. I'm working on a lawnmower. So if you're working on any sort of power equipment and expecting your hands to be dirty, that's pollution control. You don't have to hook that up, but I will do my part and hook up the pollution control. Just for today. What do you think? Is it going to crash, burn, run for 3 seconds, and then spit itself out? I'm hoping that it will work. Let's see here. How long has this gas been sitting in this thing? Oh, a couple weeks. It should be okay. Alright, I got some on the tank here. We'll see how well that paint there holds up to gasoline. So far, everything is bolted up pretty well. We had a hiccup with this bolt on the front, but I got it in without having to modify anything. There's our old elbow for the PCV, crankcase ventilation, which is, you know, that guy. We got a new one of those. I don't know if I hooked up the new one or the old one. Doesn't really matter. I think I used the new one. Alright. It's the moment of truth. Let's see. Alright, we got gas going through there. So that worked. There you go. As Terrell would say, there's your dinner. So, the new carburetor worked, and it's perfectly an adjustment. It started right up. It's not surging. It's running at the right speed. I am very happy with the way that is running. That is running like it should. It's running better than this ever would have, even if I would have cleaned it out and put a new diaphragm in there. You can see this old nasty tank, and this has been sitting for a while. You can see it's got some crud down in there. Not bad, but definitely worth it to get a new tank. So, I'll put this over here by my other parts one. Maybe out of these two I can make a good one. Because I need to replace the old carburetor on this tiller here, which is an old metal choke-o-matic carburetor. This engine isn't gonna. I'm not gonna leave this engine on this tiller because as cool as it's an old Rotospader, everything in it is seized up. I just got it for that engine. It was 20 bucks. I got it for that engine. I'm taking that engine off of there, and I'm gonna put it on one of these lucky mower decks. I'm thinking maybe this Murray here, because this one's in really good shape. You can't even see it. Or maybe I'll put it on the 70s snapper if I can find the chute for it. Anyway, there you go. This is a nearly brand new condition lawnmower. It's been taken care of. The underside of it's clean and not got any rust, and now it runs perfectly fine. So I'll update if this carburetor fails, being that cheap Chinese one, but I suspect it'll be alright. It's not like they were using the best quality stuff. I put a cheap Chinese carburetor on this scooter a couple of years ago, and it's still running. It's not like they use the best quality parts from the factory. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you very much for watching. See you in the next one.